November 6th board meeting, Seneca Falls, order. Will the clerk please take roll call?
Mr. Schmitter?
Present.
Mr. Seneca?
Here.
Mr. Collara?
Here.
Ms. Dyson? Here. Ms. Laskowski? Here.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance and moment of silence. The pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You have a seat. Okay, we have two petitioners. First off would be Isaac Walker and Rob Johnson.
Thank you. Can you hear me all right?
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to let you know, Isaac took sick today and doesn't have a voice, so I'm going to fill in for him. And thank you very much for giving us time on your schedule tonight. I am the chair of the Cuba Lake Watershed Intermunicipal Organization, and Isaac and I have been going around the watershed making presentations to all the municipalities in the watershed, giving them an update on what the organization is. Often there are new board members who may not be familiar with us. We did have to make a change to our due structure, so I want to go over that real quickly. And in case people haven't met Isaac, normally they can meet Isaac tonight, but he can drop in another time if you haven't. So the first thing I want to highlight about CUIO is that we are uniquely positioned to work on a watershed level. So we help municipalities with all of their water resource issues. It's not that you can't do that on your own, of course, but often watershed boundaries do not match up with your municipal boundaries, and it will require going after funding that you don't normally have to work with, or partnering with agencies that you don't normally have to work with, or neighboring municipalities. CUIO represents the whole watershed and has already made all those contacts with county agencies, with stormwater conservation districts, with all the appropriate funding sources, and so we can make that easier for you. So some of the examples of what Isaac has worked on, one of the easy ones was we're working on a multiple watershed scale in Seneca County right now. We're partnering with the Seneca Lake Watershed Intermunicipal Organization to do a culvert and ditch survey with a planning grant that they have. And the next phase is that they will apply for implementation funds. They're also working with a conservation district on that. And so as soon as they have those ditches prioritized, they'll be able to start preparing all of the prioritized infrastructure. Another example that's relevant to both your town and your county is the Seneca Cube Canal is part of a watershed in your town that is not prioritized under the Finger Lakes. It does not have a priority water body listing. It doesn't have a watershed management plan. So when someone wants to try and do a project in that watershed, their application is not going to receive equal funding to Cuba Lake or Seneca Lake or some of the other tributaries. We are working with the Cuba Lake Watershed Network and the Conservation District again to reach out to the state elected officials and to DEC to try and make a change in that so that the Soil and Water Conservation District doesn't have to use discretionary funds to do any work in that watershed. Isaac does want to specifically thank the town for being willing to hold the stormwater planning grant that he and Ian put in for, and hopefully they will get that funding. They will of course do all the reporting if that grant is awarded, but again, we cannot hold the grant. We're sort of quasi-governmental organization, so we really appreciate Seneca Falls being willing to hold that grant for us. And I see here that you actually do have a project within that, so hopefully we get it awarded, and you'll be able to get that garden project. Some of the early ones we've already gotten was the Covert Salt Barn was funded, and that is under construction. Isaac worked with the PRISM and did hemlock woolly adelgid treatments in 3 different state parks. and also hosted a demonstration project so that municipalities could see how those treatments are done and ask questions about the cost in case they wanted to do some of that in their own municipalities or parks. He's working right now with me. I work for the city of Ithaca at their drinking water plant. We're looking at trying to get funding for bathymetric equipment that will help us with monitoring our flooding in downtown Ithaca, managing the Cuba Inlet, which needs routine dredging and hasn't had it since the 80s, and also developing a maintenance plan for our drinking water reservoir. Isaac also attends regional meetings. Again, that's just another way for him to network and build those relationships and bring all of that to the table for you anytime you might need that. I'll do the dues changes right now real quickly. This is less relevant to the Seneca County towns and villages because the towns and villages, because the county's been paying that bill for a while, but I do want you to understand what it is. We had a fair funding formula that was established in 2022. We are no longer meeting the state minimum requirements for a New York exempt employee, and so we want to raise our funding so that we are not at the bottom of the barrel and having to make adjustments just to stay there, to keep a well-qualified, knowledgeable person on as the watershed manager. So we've adjusted it from $90,000 to $130,000 per year, and that isn't just the salary, there's other things in there. And we're going to phase it in over 3 years at 80, 90, and 100%. This year's dues were $1,994. Next year will be $2,300, 2026, $2,587. So that's 2027, and then in 2028, $2,875. That represents 3.3% of the overall support for QIO. So what do you get again for that membership? You get a voting seat at the meetings. You get access to state and federal representatives. We have them come and talk about proposed legislation or regulations, and you can talk to them one-on-one about what their goals are and if that's actually going to work out when you try to roll it out at the local level and have an impact on how those things are worded. We get regular updates on funding priorities or new funding sources. And most importantly, again, this sustains the work of Isaac, our watershed manager. He knows all the state and federal funding sources, familiar with your neighbors, with the partnerships you're going to need, and he can help you develop projects and even manage and implement them. So I want to thank you again for your time tonight on your agenda. I want to encourage you to appoint a representative to the meetings, and I see on the agenda here that Charlie Capolino is on there. I believe he may want to pause. He has a lot of things going on right now. He does still want to be the representative, but I don't think he wants to do that at this time. Oh, hi, Charlie. I looked for him when I got here. Am I accurate on that?
We're aware of that. It's been pulled from Anita.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay. I wasn't sure because I saw it on the agenda. And my final note is the best way to benefit from your membership is to have Isaac write you a grant. So thank you again. If you have any questions, reach out to me or Isaac.
Thank you, Roxy. Next up, we have Judy Wenzel.
Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Good. All right. I didn't have enough of these, so I'm just going to give a few for up here. Everybody can share, and I wanted to have enough that could float around in the crowd. So just pass them around a little bit, so you can know what I'm talking about. Okay. So good evening. My name is Judy Wenzel. I am the Executive Director for the Bonaviglia Family Foundation. I'm a resident of Seneca Falls. Back in March of this year, I spoke at the town's board meeting about the foundation's strategic partnership with the Seneca Falls Development Corporation to launch the Downtown Seneca Falls Facade Storefront Grant Program. This initiative, fully funded by the foundation, provides streamlined financial assistance for building and business owners to enhance their exterior storefronts. The SFDC and the foundation work together in conjunction with Insight Architecture to develop this program. Insight Architecture is a firm that specializes in supporting communities with their downtown revitalization efforts.
More specifically, they helped us to develop some design guidelines to help building owners make impactful renovations to their buildings that maintain the architectural character and historical, likeness for our downtown district. These guidelines are now promoted on the SFDC's website, and they can be used as a resource for our downtown community moving forward. In addition to helping us to develop this program, this architectural firm also helped us to launch the program and work with building owners who are interested in taking advantage of this opportunity by assisting them with coming up with realistic projects, design concepts, and renderings. So the first round of this program was launched in April. Final grant applications were submitted at the end of July. And in August, 8 of the 14 projects that were submitted were awarded funding. Some of the major factors influencing award allocations included the visual impact of the building, storefront occupancy, and a building business owner's longevity contribution to the vibrancy of downtown Seneca Falls. Based on the sheet that I handed out, projects that were awarded funding, 17 Bridge Street, which is owned by Karen Tumbiolo. The storefront is local FLX. That project is already completed. 3739 Fall Street, owned by Brent and Maria Maynard. It's a very prominent historic building in our downtown area. It's partially completed. The front of the building has been painted, and the remaining sides will be painted next spring. 4143 Fall Street, owned by Matt Bell. That storefront, there's a new tattoo parlor, and along the canal side is the business Rizzo Remedy. That project is in progress. 73 Fall Street, owned by Bridget Mealy, storefront Hertique. That project will be starting soon. 8183 Fall Street, owned by Matt Bell again, storefront Aisha's Closet and Lakeside Engineering. 86 Fall Street, owned by Jim Hendrickson, the storefront, obviously, Parker's on Fall. And then 91 Fall Street, owned by Becky Bly, Woman Made Products. That project is complete. Hers was very minor. You might be looking at the pictures and saying, what's the difference? She fixed her signboard up and installed some exterior lighting. And then 90 to 100 Fall Street, owned by Mark Robinette. The King Block, obviously Robinette's Jewelers is one of the storefronts, but the other side is vacant, and there is progress being made currently to that project as well. So the approximate total downtown investment based on this first round is about $620,000. There are several local contractors assisting with the completion of these projects. Tony Rico and Mike Trickler, Joe Sofo, Ferrara Lumber, Doduro Painting, Geneva Tent and Awning, Geneva Glass, and A&M Graphics out of Auburn. I bring this up because I think it's very important, like their buy-in from the beginning, being a part of this process, being a part of this program is already and is going to have a tremendous impact on the success of these projects and this first round. And the SFDC and the foundation are just very grateful for their support throughout this process. This is a collective effort, as I said, and it's already making a visible and lasting impact in preserving the town's historic charm while boosting its economic appeal. So I encourage residents to intentionally take a walk or drive through our downtown district to see all the good work being done. So, thank you.
Thank you, Judy. On behalf of the entire town, we're grateful to you and the Bonafide Foundation for you've given us Seneca Falls. So thank you. So that concludes petitioners at this time. We will now open up privilege of the floor. Is there anyone for privilege of the floor? Gabby?
Good evening. My name is Gabby Cosentino, and I just wanted to come up here tonight and introduce myself. I'm thrilled to have earned a seat alongside you in the next coming year. Frank, Dawn, and Jackson, I truly look forward to working together to advance Seneca Falls forward, and I hope before I take office in January, we all have an opportunity to meet so that I can get up to speed and hit the ground running. Lastly, for their 4 years of service, to the residents of Seneca Falls, I think we all owe Caitlin Lazowski and Greg Sinekropi a round of applause for their efforts and service.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Norm Rotunda. Town board members and residents of Seneca Falls, thank you for having me up here. I'm here tonight to call for a vote of no confidence in our town supervisor. This is not a decision made lightly, but one rooted in a pattern of actions that have eroded public trust, undermined employee relations, and disregarded proper procedure. Over the past year, we've seen serious concerns. One, union recognition delays, I apologize. Town employees organizing under CSEA were promised recognition, yet the process stalled for months. Instead of collaboration, workers faced delays, legal challenges, and unnecessary costs, leaving many to question whether leadership was acting in good faith. 2, landfill permits, irregularities. The town's vote on the Seneca Meadows landfill permit and host agreement was later deemed procedurally invalid. Resolutions were not properly introduced or seconded. Despite these findings, the supervisor insisted the vote was valid, damaging public confidence in our town's governance. 3, divided budget and internal discord, November 2024. The 2025 budget passed narrowly with board members and employees voicing concerns over transparency, departmental impacts. Leadership should unify and engage, not divide. Together, these instances show a troubling pattern, one where process, transparency, and fairness have been set aside. A vote of no confidence is not about politics or personalities. It's about accountability, integrity, the public's right to trust its leaders. I urge this board to send a clear message that Seneca Falls deserves better. Let this vote mark a new beginning, one grounded in transparency, respect, and responsible leadership. Thank you.
Yes.
Good evening. My name's Brad Jones, and I'd just like to congratulate not just Gabby, but also Wendy, Jen, and thank you, Lori, for running. Wendy, Gabby, you have your work cut out for you. This gentleman just earlier touched on the word transparency, and that's what I'd like to talk about tonight, and it really has to do with the supervisor. You may not know, but today's November 6th, no budget. We had a workshop, the department heads presented back in October. But since that time, the 5 board members have not met together as a team. I'll say 2 board members, Frank and Frank, in the secret tent. Caitlin, Dawn, Jackson, no input. I heard Jackson was brought into the tent yesterday just to get a thumbs up. So the budget, you would think tonight, because all the other communities in the area have presented their budgets, had their public hearings, voted on it, nothing. But earlier today, you got to remember, people are transparent, Frank. Frank instructed our town clerk to send out the proposed budget after this meeting is over. I would look to somebody like our supervisor and say, you've got an opportunity to share it tonight. But I'm here because people talk. 2 months ago, I offered to help work on a budget. No call back. It looks like there's only 2 people really working on it right now. My recommendation going forward with what I learned today, Wendy, Gabby, Dawn, Jackson, if you're not asked to be participating on the proposed budget that's being sent out tonight, I vote no. 2 to 3 months ago, I said with $30 million in reserves, which is the secret, use some of it for a tax decrease. Well, what I learned today is what you're going to be receiving in the mail is a 2026 budget that increases taxes, takes away services, and get ready employees, there's many reductions. And as I looked at some of the names, I looked at it because it's personal. And when I say personal, P-E-R-S-O-N-A-L. So I'm very concerned that, you know, if you're not on the right team, you won't have a job. So my challenge to you, Frank, is talk to the group tonight. And am I right from the standpoint of taxes going up? And by the way, the little I looked at it, this new board in January, I see Officer Clear here, I see Officer King here. I think you know they're going to vote to correct that clerical error. Did you put the $500,000 in the budget? I don't think so. But come January, the police force is going to be taken care of. Forensic financial audit. I told you about $50,000 they have one. I believe with the new board, Frank, you're going to have one. It's probably going to cost more than $50,000. But as a resident and a taxpayer, with what I've seen the last 2 years, I think an audit is needed today, tomorrow, in the future, especially for these new people that are going to actually own that $30 million in reserves. I'll end it this way. I signed that vote of no confidence tonight because for some reason you think you're a board of one when you're a board of five. Thank you.
Anyone else on the floor?
How's it going? My name is Colmar. I'm a town Seneca Falls employee. I work for Jeremy. I'm also the CSEA president. I did not plan on coming up here to speak tonight, but some of my members have came to me along with their department heads. My first question being is, where is our water and sewer supervisor? Joey hasn't been here in I don't know how many months, Frank. Where's he at? We paid him to be here. We just gave him a 7% raise. He's over $100,000. He's living at our townhouse for almost nothing. Why isn't he here? Secondly, you put out this budget. Because Jeremy won't go back to 5/8, you will not give him an increase. We go back to this constantly. Jeremy does not have to be here more than 2 hours a day, but every day he comes in with us from 6 a.m. to 4:30. He works hands-on every single project. When we are out collecting your brush, your garbage, Jeremy is there with us every single day. But yet we have Pete Mesmer, who is at our shop having his truck calibrated for salt, borrowing our equipment because he can't do a job, asking Jeremy, how do we do this, how do we do that? We're only going to pay Jeremy $60,000 more, or $60,000. I make more than Jeremy. That's kind of sad to say. But you got this bigwig, Pete Mesmer, who is killing Jeremy in his pay. Secondly, our employees, Frank, are mistreated by you daily. They are. You can give that face all you want. We, as employees, have stood up to you, and you continue to do what you do with this board. You are a one-man army, and that's all you've ever been. So, my question to you is, you want to give Melissa 3%, you want to cut some of Chief's people, you want to cut some of Melissa's people, you don't want to give Jeremy anything? Why don't we as a people cut what you make? Let's take away your money. You're enjoying your 20-year retirement. Your son's enjoying his. I think Kid gets to deserve hers, so does it Clear. And then let's get into another issue as the CSEA president. You guys were not going to tell anybody about a meeting for our health insurance. Yet we get the meeting, and you guys try to pull a fast one and change our health insurance and say, oh, next week your guys' deadline is coming up. You got to have your paperwork in. But thanks to myself and Chris Denny, and I do thank you, we set up another meeting without you or Tracy for the people that could not make it because you guys are too incompetent to help out your employees. You are all about yourselves. We have a town manager who is never in his office. We have multiple finance people, but yet the finances are still fucked up.
Please don't use that language in here.
It's a free country.
It's not a free country.
It is a free country. So, I agree with the townspeople. I'm voting incompetence for you. And I do believe Jeremy needs a raise. I mean, it's sad when I make more than him. He's supposed to be my boss.
Anyone else with privilege on the floor? Okay, at this time, privilege of the floor is closed.
Frank, guys.
Oh, yep.
Good evening, Supervisor Schmitter, members of the Seneca Falls Town Board. My name is Mark Pittifer, and I'm speaking tonight on behalf of Bill Utz and the Waterloo Container Company. I'd like to note that this will be my shortest remark I've ever made from this podium, which I'm sure will make Chief Snyder happy. As the final board meeting of the year approaches in December, Waterloo Container wanted to thank personally Caitlin Laskowski and Frank Sinacropi for their service to the town. Thank you both for taking the time over these past 4 years to tour our facility, listen to our concerns, and deal with the challenges we face, and showing up. From Waterloo Container, we thank you for your time served on the board. Just being in the political sphere is difficult. I know that from my time working in the U.S. House of Representatives. But serving on a board, especially in a small town, is not an easy task. Every decision has consequence, and everyone has a right to their opinion. We appreciate the clear thought, time, and effort you both gave each and every decision, and we thank you for that. Once again, thank you for serving, and best of luck. We wish you nothing but health, happiness, and peace.
Anyone else with privilege?
Hello, good night. I'm sorry for English because I am on immigration and my first language is Spanish. But now I've been here, I'm a resident in this area. And I'm a regular person work for
Can
you.
you just talk closer to the mic? Sorry. Yeah, but you gotta be pretty close to it.
Okay, thank you. My message is now is about conscience. I read your language 43 persons here, Patrick, Frank, and Pete. And I'm very surprised. I don't know you are socialist, Republican. For me, no, it's important because I understand your person, peace. But I'm very worried for the arrogance I read in 3 persons here, this is the leaderships. And I'm worried for different reasons. I put on the table 3. One is because the people believe for yours. And yes, you have the power now, but the power was earned. But the honor, when you don't lie, but the respect, when you make the good things for your people, is in your hands. This is dirty. The actions you make. And the people know it's stupid. I'm sorry. But these are things really we need open about the conscience. You don't play with money here. You play with the people. It's about money. What is worry for me? Yesterday, in New York City, we know people is very dangerous for your country. I don't know if you believe this or not. I travel New York City all the time. Very, very normal for me. And I see how it's like this. The people make yesterday celebration. I don't see nothing flat. USA flag. Or other countries Latin from the continental. I see gray, and it's not black. And these people take it in New York City very soon. And you know how all the people run for these towns very soon. You are ready? You want police is ready for confront that? You want department? You want your town is ready for confront these conflicts soon? I don't know. You understand that, or maybe you want that. But when the people come here, you know already, your police know already, your people is work for the town knows ready. Your daughter, your grandsons is in the province in the future. They pay the price. Please, please, for the 3 persons in here, they think have the power. Make conscience. It's the future of these towns, and this town in special. No, it's about political. It's about survival. Take care of your people. Be good to your people. Take care and protect your people. Good night.
At this time, privilege of floor will be closed. Moving on to supervisory report. We'll be having a special meeting on November 17th for the budget hearing, at which point we will speak and then vote on it. We also at the meeting will be including seekers for HCA and leach aid, and any other regular business will be held at that meeting. That is be November 17th, 5 p.m. right here. I'd also like to thank Dave. He's the owner of Dad and Son, and his employees, and the following people that helped volunteer: Frank Seneca, Charlie Capolino, Lisa Fitzgerald, Liz Rossetti, Mike Anderson, and Dwayne and Pete. We had town cleanup, and these people showed up, and we got all around the Wonderful Life Bridge cleaned up and got it ready for the run this fall. Brush pickup will be November 17th. We're also working on RFP for town trash removal. Year-end meeting will be on December 29th at 6 o'clock in this same location. Waterfront project's going well downtown. They'll be wrapping that up the first week of December. Most of it's pretty much done now. We'll just be finishing touches. If you get a chance, drive down there. It looks really good. They've done great work with it. Judy talked about the downtown. There's a lot getting done down there. That's looking good too. So a lot of good stuff going on in town. So I'd like to see everybody get involved. Be looking for the Wonderful Life Run to be coming out, and hopefully everybody will attend that. That's all I have. Next up, we have department reports. We have a motion to accept the department reports.
I don't see where you accepted the meeting minutes from 10/7, 10/15, 10/16, 10/23.
Well, we'll get to that.
Not on your agenda. 'Cause it's not on
Can I
there.
have a motion to accept the department reports?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Do we have the zoning report?
I think that's sent separately with the Chief Snyder's report in email. When did that come yesterday?
I sent that out today. I was out with medical last week, so that's why I came out late. So, but it was emailed to everybody today, and Melissa got a copy in the office as well. So.
Okay. Just as long as we can make sure that it gets on the agenda, because this is the second month in a row that it hasn't been.
All in favor of accepting department reports?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. The motion to accept communications A through C.
Make a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to accept the minutes from the October meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next up, we have special events. First one is It's a Wonderful Life Festival.
I'll make a motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Discussion on it.
Everything went through, chief, we're good?
The Wonderful Life.
Missy's handling that.
The Wonderful Life one, we both, I do, the run, we are still waiting for some paperwork. So it's the run, they've submitted it, contingent upon getting the date. The other one, please sign off. We did that.
Okay, so we're approving it contingent
You're
upon.
approving the Wonderful Life run, the festival, but the run is contingent.
Okay.
All in favor of the festival?
Aye.
Aye. Next up, we have a permit for It's a Wonderful Life Run. Have a motion?
Make a motion.
And second.
Second.
Okay, we're gonna make it contingent upon them getting the permit from the state and the police officer, the chief signing off on it. Can I have any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Next under new business. Okay, we're gonna no longer, the 2026 budget has been submitted to the clerk. It'll be posted, at which point we will have a hearing on November 17th, and then the board will vote on the budget at that time. So the preliminary budget will be out tonight.
Wasn't the budget supposed to have been submitted, let's see, much earlier than this?
No, it's gotta be done by November 20th, so we have.
That's when it has to be submitted to and approved to the county.
Right.
But I'm talking about to our clerk, because there's the process as far as the filing. So on or before September 30th, they gotta file with the town clerk's office the tentative budget with the budget message, if any. Then, the town clerk is required to present the tentative budget to the town board at a special meeting on or before October 5th. That didn't happen. So, we're not following a timeline. And I also take issue with the fact that Dawn and I were left out, which is convenient, being the two females.
Nobody was left out. We got, we're not voting on it, it was done today, now I got meetings all next week.
And that part brings up another section for the November 17th, because how can we, so your proposal is just for, and I'll just talk about the police department for a second. Your proposal is to cut 2 full-time, eliminate the 2 part-time. The clerk, they're affected as well, and that's just one department. But we're gonna have received, and just for argument's sake, we'll proceed the way that it shouldn't be, but it is, because we never follow processes. The 17th, we hear the public, we have their comment, and then we're going to vote?
All this week, I have opened, I sent an email out for all the
You didn't
department
send
heads.
me an email. When
No, I
did you
didn't.
send that?
Earlier this week.
No, you didn't.
I got it.
I was not in that email about coming and sitting down and having a conversation.
Well, you're in the town board web email, so it should have got to you. If it didn't, then I don't know what the problem is, because I
But
sent
we
you
as
an
a
email
board
to the
should be
entire town
sitting
board.
down together cohesively rather than independently, because that's
We're
one,
not allowed to
that's
sit
not
down
approved.
independent. We gotta,
We
can't
have
sit
to
down as a board.
Have another workshop, right?
We had workshops.
Those weren't workshops.
Those were just wants, people's wants.
I'm more than happy to have you come to the office and sit down and go over your.
I want another
plans.
workshop.
Why can't we all sit down and go line by line and
Any of you prepared to tell the police that they're not gonna have jobs? Shame on you. And shame on the clerk's office and that person losing their position. Shame on you.
You came and
The
talked to me,
sheer
you
fact that
question.
you
You
want to
don't- you
approve
don't answer.
equipment, a truck for water and sewer, okay, great, you're gonna axe the skidster, but you're choosing equipment over personnel, I take issue with it. I take huge issue with it. Every one of our platforms was to lower taxes. Yours specifically, I pulled yours up today. Responsible fiscal spending. This is not responsible fiscal spending, and this is not acting as a team. I'm sorely
The public
disappointed.
hearing was supposed to happen today, according to the timeline that the New York State Association of Town puts out, and it is not being done today. Doing it on the 17th is 2 days after what New York State says you're supposed to do for even postponing it. If you're having the hearing, you can then postpone it to another date once you have it today. There's calendars, there's books, there's all this information, there's the internet.
And that's the New York State town law from the Association of Towns that I'm referencing earlier as to the specific dates. And also,
So you
there's
can
the
cram
clerk's
it
manual.
through.
So it's, I can even reference the pages, and the sections if you would like for specifics, which I can provide easily. I do my
Like move
research.
it forward and get in another quote unquote.
I have to advertise for 5 days for a public hearing.
So what's 5 days?
It's okay.
Just out of-
I can't get anything in until next week. If I do it tomorrow, it will be Wednesday before it's advertised, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday is, sorry,
We're fine with the
the
date.
17th.
gonna
No,
have it
we're
on
not
17th.
fine with the date. The date is set for a reason.
That's why you have, you're talking about a public hearing, that's the
Yes.
17th.
And then it has to be adopted.
Public comment.
Yes,
For
the
public comment and,
It's supposed
whatever
to
you
be
guys gotta
held
do.
no later than today.
Supposed to, but
It's
these
it's
are
in-
all,
I-
these are all
so laws
directives.
just don't matter?
The only date that matters to the state is November 20th.
Then why do we have the Association of Town Law Manual telling us otherwise? Are those just guidance documents?
Yes, exactly, they are.
Laws are just guidance.
Well, that's what the, Office of the State Comptroller has said in their opinions, and that's what the case law says,
So
yes.
my working hours are just pretend them?
Yep.
I wish the vote of no confidence was applicable to elected officials, but unfortunately it's not.
I'd like to see
So.
the email you sent to you.
I say we cut.
We're removing a resolution B from the agenda.
You can't
for
remove
tonight.
a resolution, you have to table it.
Table resolution B for tonight, can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 We have a resolution to accept Parks and Recreation cleaner groundkeeper resignation and authorize recruiting replacement. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
I'd like to thank Mike Anderson for his service to the town. He's retiring on November 29th, 2025. All in favor?
Aye. Okay with that.
What's next? Have a motion to appoint Historic Preservation Commission. Charles Ganker requests to be appointed as the alternate board member to the Historic Preservation Commission. Could I have a motion?
Make a motion.
A second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Have a resolution to transfer of funds for vehicle maintenance. Have a motion?
Make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion?
What department's that for?
Highway.
DA 2025-17. All in favor?
Aye.
I have a resolution to transfer of funds within the highway funds. Have a motion?
Make a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I have a motion for approval of water leaks and pool credits.
I'll make a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I have a motion for payment of bills.
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor of paying the bills?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
What happened to the designated town Seneca Falls as lead agency?
Table it.
It wasn't tabled, it wasn't voted on. The one you tabled was Charlie Capolino.
No,
No,
Charlie
we-
Campino was
we-
removed earlier.
You can't
from
just
the agenda.
remove a resolution.
It's
You have to
not on
table
the
it.
thing, it was removed yesterday. It wasn't on this
The
agenda.
resolution.
It's on the agenda that was published to the town. I'm sorry. Never mind, just
Make-
go ahead.
Make a motion that we table the Charlie Capolino resolution. Second.
All in favor of tabling it?
Aye.
Mr. Agenda doesn't matter, laws don't matter, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Can I have clarification? Can I have clarification? Are we having another hearing, or the department heads having another hearing with the board? Like, what are we doing? Just going back to the preliminary budget? Are we just going on the 17th and sticking to that?
I put that out to them that they all should try to come meet with me, and I'll go over the changes, and the same with the board members.
Individually.
That's what we can.
Individually, so that you can just say no.
But we can have a special board meeting.
I have a motion to adjourn for the evening.
Can I ask one question before we adjourn? Can we have another meeting to go over this? Like,
One schedule, yes, if you want.
well, yeah, I'd like to schedule one so everyone can come and we can tell them, yes, this is being cut, so they know.
Where do you know?
Just as a point of clarification, because I don't know the answer to this, but so I'm asking. On the 17th, the board will simply not vote on the budget. I think my impression was, based on town law, that the budget being one large resolution, board members would have the ability to offer amendments that would be voted on individually. And you can have another meeting. I'm just suggesting that's, I don't think it was clear, or is clear, procedurally how that budget would get adopted on the 17th.
I'd like to refer that question to the county.
If I can just finish my statement.
You're not a
Brad,
board
please.
member. Why are you talking? We can't talk, you can't talk.
Thank you, Cole. I appreciate your.
You're welcome, Pete. I'm glad you didn't forget where our office was.
I'm always entertained by your, the ethics.
That's the whole reason I'm here. I'm glad you didn't forget where
So,
130 Watershed was.
The board has a choice. They can either have another meeting and do, whatever process you want to do, or by town law, you would be able to offer amendments to the budget at that meeting. And that's all I'm saying. I just wanted to make sure you guys
what
know.
you're saying. So I would like to have another meeting, go line for line, because that is what we've done in past workshops, and it was productive, and that was.
And then they know what they're getting and what they're not getting.
But with that said, if it's my understanding, regardless of such, is to be submitted by the 20th to the county, and even if it's not adopted by the board, his preliminary budget can still be adopted for the next fiscal year, even if it's not, the board doesn't adopt
If the
it.
board does, the state law would indicate that if the board does not adopt a budget by November 20th, the preliminary budget, but the preliminary budget would.
The preliminary budget what?
So it comes down to one person making
So they don't adopt
I'm sorry, I just want to finish.
The audience should not be
Can
talking.
I just finish my thought?
So why is he
You
talking?
didn't, that's what I'm asking.
Because I'll come to the county board
Like,
meetings and interrupt you if that's.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I
I didn't finish your thought, so I was asking you what you were saying.
So,
You, the lies are coming out, just admit it.
very specifically, if you make amendments.
Now you guys see how the employees are treated on a daily basis here.
Paul, remember, I don't come to work, so I don't treat anybody.
Yeah, but
like
no, you
that.
don't come to work. That's why none of this is done.
That's right. Thank you very much, sir. Have a great evening.
Hey, I plan on it. I'm gonna go home because I worked hard today, unlike you, and I'm gonna enjoy my time with my family. I'm glad that you could make it for the first time in a year. You have a wonderful night.
So, as long as we're on this topic,
Can we finish where we were?
yes.
I would just
So the board needs to make, all I'm trying to do is facilitate the discussion of the board needs to make a choice. You either have another meeting or you do it on the 17th, however you want to do it.
Another meeting, line for line.
You were saying make amendments, and then.
That's for the 17th.
And if you get 3 votes on the amendment, that resolution changed, that would be part of the vote.
So would the department head be able to speak, like, to their budget on that?
That's completely up to the board.
So, the 17th, that's crunch time for the 20th, and I don't think that that is reasonable for us as a
board member, and I'm going to say something. This budget is $3.25 million that we don't have, okay?
Why?
We don't, it's over budget by $3.25 million, okay?
So why are we guiding the truck?
Because we spend more than we take in. We take, and I got this stuff today from Peter. He mailed me that budget stuff, and I'll tell you, there's only 4 things that can happen on this budget. 1, you can raise taxes. 2, you can make cuts to the budget. 3, you can use unrestricted fund balance, which in our paperwork is called unexpended fund balance. And you can use the tax reserve fund. So the proposal right now is to raise taxes 86 cents, and that's to cover the highway. Because the last 2 years, there was no revenue put in the budget or any proposed for the highway. So they used all the highway.
Good question.
Wait a minute, let me finish. All the highway reserve funds were used to balance the highway budget. So now, in order we need to raise $615,000 to balance the highway. So we need to raise taxes 86 cents. Now, there's cuts to the budget. I looked at the sheet. There's cuts to the budget of $828,300. Then we're taking out of the unrestricted balance, of which we've got $7,500,000, because I called Peter Socia and said, how much money have we got? And we're spending $3,333,850.50. 45% of our reserve money we're putting towards this budget to balance it. And we have $1,200,000 in a tax reserve fund. We're using $1 million of that, or 84% of that fund, to balance the budget. This town spends more money than we take in. We're just like the federal government. The difference is we can't print money like they can. We're extravagant here. Things need to change. So that's the facts. If you like them, you like them. If you don't like them, I guess you can have all the meetings you want.
Why did we create a whole other department?
That department didn't cost you that much money.
What's the percent increase on tax?
17.
17%.
Yeah, the taxes are $5.099 per thousand.
17% tax increase.
Right,
That's
it's
gonna hit
80.
median tomorrow.
Listen, it's 86 cents. You can use percentages to make it sound crazy, or you can use numbers to make it sound realistic. Just like I could say, oh my God, it's 84% of the tax reserve, or I could just say, oh, it's just $1 million. You know, and I could make it.
Right,
People are horrified by percentages, not necessarily the dollar amount. So you can use numbers and percentages any way you want to make it horrific, so people get aggravated about it. So that's the way numbers work. You can use them to your advantage either way. So you're anti-town, so you're going to use the numbers to your advantage to be anti to this crowd. I'm going to use the number just to say, hey, it's 17%, because the tax rate is so small. If the tax rate was $20 a thousand and you raised it 86 cents, it'd only be 2%. But the number is so tiny. Now, what happened if we lowered the tax rate from $10.54 a thousand 2 years ago to $5.09?
You had a reassessment, right?
But we still lowered. We didn't have to lower the tax rate. We could have taken in all that extra revenue. But we did. We lowered the tax rate. So that's how it works, Brad. You were the mayor. You were a dictator.
You're right. Yeah, 25 years ago, I can assure you.
The village office, the mayor has total control over the village. The board doesn't make anything. The mayor does all the hiring and firing.
Quick question, didn't Pete Socia many meetings back say if the dump closed tomorrow, our taxes still wouldn't go up because we have enough fund in things like places that our taxes would change, and now we're 1.7%? Because you guys are doing your taxes for one dump on there?
Because you
Listen,
I got county board.
if I had my way, I'd cut 2 million out of this budget, but I don't. I'm only one vote.
Cheer services.
I'm speaking to board members now. The audience, please be quiet. You'd like to meet Wednesday?
So
and do
let's
this?
vote on adjournment. I vote aye to adjourn.
Yes.
I got a point of order. We got a motion on the floor to adjourn. I vote we adjourn.
Frank is speaking to the other board
We're gonna,
members.
hold it. We're gonna set a meeting for next Wednesday for who wants to attend, the board members, they have a budget.
Oh,
Here. All right, so next Wednesday, that's 5 days, plenty of days to make the notice. That'd be the 12th.
It has
What
to
time
be
would
at-
you?
It's not a public hearing.
Yeah,
just
it's
need
a
to
public
put it
hearing or
in
notice for a public
Thank
meeting.
Is the public allowed here?
Public hearing
What works
is
for
the.
you?
Yes.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
That's for all 5 board members?
Wednesday.
And remember, there is
5
no
o'clock, Jackson.
landfill money in this budget.
Jackson,
Okay?
Wednesday at 5. All right.
What's the number?
12.
November
Remember
12th,
that.
Wednesday at 5
When
p.m.
you're trying to figure out
We'll
where
have
the 3.5 million's
budget
coming.
hearing.
Right here?
Right here.
Thank you.
So I'm sitting here thinking about this. I got a great idea. So you
Cole,
want to cut, no, hold on.
no, the audience is not talking. Cole, please leave the room. Cole,
You want to cut 2 full-time
Throw them out.
You can cut 2
No.
full-time cops.
He's speaking for the employees.
Hold on, I'm speaking on behalf of the employees.
No, you're not.
Yes, he is.
This isn't the place. Cole, please leave the building.
Really? You're gonna say shoot an employee?
That's
what you just said.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Got a motion to adjourn the meeting. Have a second adjourn. All in favor of adjourning? Aye. Motion carried.
No, it's not. Ever threaten me again. Yeah. Don't you ever.